Hi, I'm Rebecca Green. I'm the Director of Instructional Technology for Anahuac ISD. And I wanted to put together a video for all the parents and maybe even students that didn't have any prior experience with Google Classroom. Some tricks and tips on how to use Google Classroom and how to get the most out of this whole experience. I first want to say thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your willingness to try things that are new, because we are all in this together. And the biggest outcome that we all want is for your students to continue their education as best as possible right now. We miss your students. I don't have a classroom of my own, but I know I loved walking through the hallways and going into the classrooms and just interacting with your students, and I miss them, so I know their teachers most certainly miss them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you some different things. Now, I am on a Mac, but for the most part, it's all the same on computers. I'm also going to do a video on how to use it on an iPhone. I don't have any Androids in the house. We're kind of an Apple family. But I think that it's pretty similar to on an Apple device. But I am going to definitely do that for y'all. So right now, I am in my daughter's account. So this is how I know if I'm in her account. But I am going to show you how to switch through accounts if needed. So the first thing that you need to do, you've all received the emails. Most of you are already in the Google Classrooms. But in order to get there, you're going to go to classroom.google.com. And here's what I did for my daughter, because she's not going to remember that whenever she's trying to get to all of her work. So this star over here, if you're in a Chrome browser, if you're not in a Chrome browser, you can most certainly set it to be a favorite. But we added, if you click the star, it makes it a solid color, and then it puts it down here because I chose to. So I clicked it, and that shows that it needs to go on the bookmarks bar. So now she can just click classes anytime that she needs to get to her classes, and now she's in all of her classes. So that's a little trick there. So each of you were given a class code for your students. And in order to get into that class, there's this plus sign right here. Now, so I was signed in under her for her whole Google Chrome. But if you weren't, you'll have to sign in first. In order to get that login information, your student's username is going to be their last name, the first two letters of their first name, and their middle initial. If they don't have a middle name, then that's just the first two letters of their first name. And then it's at aisdpanthers.com. And then their password for anything Google, so Gmail, Google Classroom, anything Google, is going to be AP for Anahuac Panthers, lowercase AP, and then their 6-digit ID number. That 6-digit ID number can be found in Skyward Family Access under Student Information, and then under Other ID. Okay, so now that you're in and you want to join a classroom, I'm going to join here by clicking that plus sign, and then it asks for a class code. I'm just going to put her in one of our sample class codes. That way you can see what everything I'm talking about without actually seeing, get that out there, without actually seeing students' work and everything. Okay, so now I want to show you what it looks like whenever you are actually on or in that classroom. The first page that always comes up is the stream. Let me tell you about the stream. The stream is kind of like Facebook, and it just puts everything in order that I've done it, except that the newest posts are up here at the top, and then the oldest posts are down here at the bottom, which would be fine, except that whenever you're wanting them to find, like this was my very first post. I wanted everybody in the class to know you click classwork to find it, but they're going to have to scroll all the way down to find that first post. So here's my hint to you. Up at the top, they have this classwork tab. Click the classwork tab. And so now it is way more organized. So I can clearly see, okay, I need to watch this first, and then here's everything for week 1. So if you're kind of lost in that stream, click classwork. Honestly, I wish they would get rid of stream and just have your classwork for you. So, if it tells you to watch it first, watch it first. So this was a video that I made just to kind of show teachers how you can get your students involved and excited a little bit about this, because it is pretty cool. It's different. And then underneath that, I have week 1. We have our daily assignment. Now, if it's something like Imagine Math or iStation or something like that, you probably won't have anything to actually turn in, because it simply says to do it for at least 15 minutes a day. So let me show you what you do there. You click View Assignment after they've already done the 15 minutes. Then, let me move my screen up here. Got it. After you've already done the 15 minutes, what you can actually do is you can mark as completed. Looks a little bit different. I've already turned it in. That's why. Let me unsubmit. So you can also unsubmit something once you've already submitted. So you can either add an attachment, which can be just a picture of a worksheet that you've done if it's a worksheet, or you can mark as done. So for something like this, there's nothing you can really turn in, so you would simply mark as done. And then there you go, you're done with this assignment. So then you can go back maybe you can go back. There it is. And so now I need to move on to this lesson. So this, once you open it and you expand it, you actually see the directions. I have a video here. It's on YouTube, so it's going to bring me outside to YouTube. And then I have a worksheet here. But it does tell me, it says only do numbers 4, 7, and 10 and keep your work, because we're going to go over it in Google Meet. So you can either take a picture and you can add it here. Or you can mark as done, because the teacher said you're going to go over it in your Google Meet. Okay. Okay, let's go back. So that is that lesson. And here's another one. It was a game. We went ahead and we marked it as done. And then there's a Google Meet. A lot of the teachers are wanting to hold Google Meets for their office hours. The really cool thing about the Google Meets is that your students will be able to see your teachers. You'll be able to ask your teachers things that you didn't understand about the work, or maybe things weren't working for you in Google Classroom and you need some kind of assistance that way. But the teachers are on the other end of that camera and they're waiting, and they're so excited. They just can't wait to see those little faces and tell them how much we miss them and we love them. So if you ever are able to join a Google Meet whenever it's offered, do so. It is pretty cool, and your students will be able to get that attention from their teachers that they're probably longing for at this point. So check that out. If you have a Google Meet, it is pretty cool. So that's your assignments and things like that. Let me show you, let's say you need to email your teacher. There's a really easy way to email that teacher. If you go to People, you see the teachers, and you can click on that mail, that little envelope, and it opens up email for them, for your students, and then they're able to email their teacher. Let me see what else I wanted to go over with you. Viewing grades. So after you start turning in some grades, you want to be able to see your grades. So that's not it. I apologize, y'all. Let's see. If only I had scrolled up. So scrolling all the way up at classwork, that would be helpful. You can click View Your Work. So these are the things that are turned in. As the teacher starts to grade these turn into grades. You can also click over here, Assigned, things that are assigned that you haven't turned in, or things that are returned with the grade only, or things that you're actually missing. And if you don't want any of those filters on there, then you can just go back this way. Okay, now I know a lot of you are kind of in the same predicament I'm in. I have multiple students, and so they're in multiple classes, but I can't easily, before watching this, you might think, well, I can't easily go back and forth through them. So on the iPhone, it's one way, and then on the Chrome browser, on a computer or a Chromebook, it's another way. I'm going to show you something, and once I figured this out, it was life-changing. So, right now I have this M, and I'm signed in as my daughter. So if I click this M, I have all these options. Let me move myself out of the way again. I have all these options because I've added these people. What you'll probably see is maybe one and then guest and then add. If you have multiple students, you simply click add, and it'll come up and you type in that other student's name. So I'm just going to put second student for now. Add. They are already a Chrome user. So go ahead and click sign in for them. Here's where you put in that username at aisdpanthers.com. And then the next one is where you would put in their password. You're going to come up with a screen that says to link data. Go ahead and link. And then it says another screen will come up and say, yes, I'm in. Click yes, I'm in. Then the really cool thing that happens is if I want to go to my son's, I click there and I'm already logged in. So then I go to classroom.google.com. And then here are his classes that he's in. And then if I want to go back to my daughter's, I click there and it takes me to where I left off. It is so cool and it's so easy. That way I can just go, oh, let me go back to her classes. There they all are. So if you didn't learn anything, hopefully you learned that because that's just very efficient. So I believe that is all I wanted to cover in this video with you all. Please know that your teachers are there. You can contact them via phone or email. Your principals are there as well. And if they can't figure it out, they will most certainly turn to myself or Ms. Hooper, who is an instructional technologist also. We are here to help you. And whether or not we're excited about this, we do know that it's something new and it can be challenging, but in the end, again, that outcome that we want is to continue your child's education. We're proud to be Panthers.